We were taken hostage by the other groups, protesting groups. Citizens across the India trust us. West Bengal, Gujarat,
And maybe
Kashmir.
CRPF is putting along more sacrifices.
Of course, a regular brigade of Pakistan army attacked us. Very simple things they are not able to do with their family. Most of them are not able to celebrate any festival with their family.
They have to do their duty in the festival time mostly.
Being creative, you need time. You need certain kind of stability.
But he still managed to write 11 books.
Yeah, I could manage, but we can make your life hell. So a police officer has to be a nice person. Because a lot of power is there. And people expect you to behave in a certain fashion. Colonial hangover with the institutions after independence. Probably it is there. I will not deny this fact. We are there to serve the people, not to rule them, not to boss around them.
And also to teach them to be a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, we have
ideal citizen. Namaste. Welcome to another sit-down session of Sangam Talks. We have with us Rakesh Kumar Singh ji, DIG of CRPF, 32 years of experience in the field. Thank you so much, sir, to take up your time to come here to join us.
It's my pleasure to come here.
Yes, sir. Our pleasure too. And we will talk about this book, his 11th book, sir, right?
I have written 11 books.
Yes. Behind the uniform. And that's a very interesting subject. I will come to that because when we think about police, maybe we all have some mixed experience with police. And we find that perception among us that maybe police need to be more thoughtful about handling the civilians. But there are more to that. We don't think about that. The stress of policing, how they maintain their family life when they are doing this kind of job to handle tough situations. So, sir, you are a DIG and you turned a writer, a poet. You have written a poetry book. You have written several fiction, non-fiction, both in Hindi and English. And you also have written many articles on leading newspapers and magazines. So I will start with that how you got inspired to write such things, and also not just a cop, and the aim of this book to reveal the human side of policing and build empathy between the public and the police. That's the main thing, I think, very important. So please.
How I started writing, I think every person has got a creative side. And I also have a creative side. And very few police personnel were writing about their own professions. So what is happening that in society, whenever somebody is writing, whether it is in media or certain intellectuals, professors, whatever they are writing about the police, that was making the perception of the public. I found that there is a gap between what we are doing for the society and how society is perceiving about us. So I thought I should express myself as a police officer. I should tell the story from the side of the police, how we are doing the policing, how society is responding to it, so that the truth comes out. And that's how I started writing articles and books regarding police. Later on, since as you said, it is difficult to imagine that a police person can be creative. Yes, a man has to be creative. That's the essence of the man.
I mean, you are a character of contrast. You have worked on difficult places like Kashmir, Northeast, Dantewada, Naxal infested. And you have also written books on Naxalism.
Yeah.
Very informative book.
Yeah, I have written books about Naxal, their violence, and I have also written.
You have been awarded many distinguished awards from the government for your policing and also for the books.
Yes, I got 2 awards from Ministry of Home Affairs, their own department, Bureau of Police Research and Development, and I got Govind Ballabh Pant Puruskar for 2 of my books. Probably I'm the only police officer who has been awarded this twice.
Right.
Yeah. But I always feel writing beyond this policing subject also, and so I have written fictions, poetry, romantic fictions during lockdown. I have written lockdown love, and so many things I am writing.
Your book highlights the stress, long working hours, exposure to crime, poor work-life balance. And what do you think is the most misunderstood challenge that police officers face today?
First, let me explain that when I am talking about man in uniform or say person in uniform, because most of the uniform services are not equal opportunity, a lot of women are there. So there are three kind of people wearing uniform in India. I am telling all these things because people are not aware of it. Whenever we talk about man in uniform, it's army, which is managing the security of the from external threats. Then we are knowing about the police personnel, police which are associated with police stations and district police and all. There is one more category and that comes between them. Police and defense के बीच में एक आता है paramilitary forces आता है. There are few paramilitary forces like CRPF, Central Reserve Police Force, which assist state government, central government in maintaining internal security.
Along with law and order.
Along with law and order, we are assisting the state governments. So our job is more akin to this civil police, like police. Then there is Border Security Force, BSF, which is guarding borders. Indo-Tibetan Border Police, which is guarding, ITBP is guarding Tibetan border. SSB, which is guarding Nepal border. CISF, which is guarding industrial security. And NSG, National Security Guard, is for specialized duties and operations. So there are paramilitary forces in between this military and the police. Of course, these paramilitary forces are very trained. They are specialized, and they perform duties which are generally considered to be not up to the level of professional competence of the state police, because they are not dealing with those kind of things like terrorism, like huge demonstrations, riots, and all these things. So they are the CRPF assisting. So life of army personnel, military, paramilitary, and police is totally different. Most of the time, it is the police which comes into interaction with the Aam Janta, common people. They are interacting with the police, state police, and all the perception about the uniformed services comes from there. Whereas there are so many dimensions of the services of all these personnels. Like if I am talking about the police, the perception is something different, the way the state police personnel are interacting. But there is no, criticism of the paramilitary force or military, because they are very, meticulous in their work. But when they are going into some kind of operations with the state police, they also get same perception of, the human rights violation as the state police are doing. So there are different dimensions. So we will talk about what kind of person in uniform you want to know. We can talk about that.
So let's talk about these challenges, like when you face protesters. They are all civilians and they are protesting and they can be violent. Like handling a situation where you are dealing with a victim's family maybe.
Yes.
How to deal with that? You have to be very human, and there may be a great challenge in order to maintain the situation when the victim's family is devastated.
Yes.
And they are not acting like a normal human being.
Yeah, very true. That's why I am saying that behind the uniform, not just a cop. Every police personnel behind the uniform is a man, a father, a son, a family member, a member from the society. So whatever the victim's family is facing, that emotional trauma he also faces. Because being a human being, if you are seeing some victim, there may be anything, and you get associated with such kind of trauma, and this is taking a lot of toll on our mindset also.
But you have to be within the scope of your
within the scope, and we have to empathize with the victims, and we have to work and conduct ourselves as per the legal framework, and we try to do that. For example, if victim's family is protesting and they are getting violent, we can understand the agony or anguish of that family, but still we cannot let them to disturb the peace. So we have to be sometime harsh or sometime take action against them. But we understand that we are dealing with our own people and we have to be human. So even in demonstrations, which is a beautiful part of any democracy, because the citizens have got rights to demonstrate, to protest against the government, and there are certain, it's their fundamental right. There are certain restrictions which we try to impose to maintain law and order and maintain peace, so that it doesn't becomes inconvenient to that person. But of course, all the time we are aware that we are dealing with our own brothers. They are our own people. They are our citizens. They are doing things which they have got the constitutional right to do, and I have to maintain a decorum, duty, and peace, and I have to do that in certain legal framework.
So have you been into any hostage situation?
I
I
have
mean,
been
the
in-
protesters can make hostage of a road also.
Yeah, I have been in situation during Jat Andolan in 2016 probably. So, Rohtak was burnt, many shops, and I was in Jhajjar. So I was supposed to go and nobody was there to guide. And we came to know that certain building has been put on fire. So we officers started in 2-3 vehicles. And we were taken hostage by the other groups, protesting groups. And they came to us and they were protesting why we have come when they have, killed our own people. It was some sort of, the other caste people were killed, their property was being burned. And they were very violent and they thought we are coming on behalf of a particular community to save them. But the moment I came out, there were a lot of protesters, probably 200, and we were in 3 vehicles, only officers. We had their own PSOs. Maybe 5 officers with 10 persons, which was totally insufficient to deal with any situation like that. But I talked to them. I told, we are here to protect your property. Everybody's life. CRPF is a neutral force. There were allegations of bias against the state police. We have a representation of all caste, religion, everything. We are formed on the basis of national character of the population, and we have history. You know about it. You are from Haryana. A lot of people are in CRPF, BSF, ITP from Haryana. So they trusted us. And then they told me about how they have been treated and what we should take care of, and where we should put security personnel to protect them. And we have taken their advices into cognizance. We reached to the locations where our troops were deployed, and accordingly we took a decision to protect them. So it happens, but talking to them helped at that particular time.
Talking with you on this matter, when you think about it, like the complex dynamics of Indian social system,
Yes.
and the diversity of India, that makes sense. That's how tough can be the policing to maintain the law and order.
Yes, policing is very tough in India, because whenever we go for any kind of, policing duties, we face everybody debating, discussing, arguing with us. This is right, this is not right, you should do like this. So there will be a lot of voices. There will be a lot of noise, there will be a lot of demands, there will be a lot of expectations. But we are professionally trained, we understand what we are supposed to do. Of course, one of the things is that we must listen to everybody. It's also our duty to listen to all the voices. And then we take a judicious decision. Again, as I told you, we have to be aware of this fact all the time, that we are police officers and we are dealing with our own citizens, our own people, and we have to be human.
Correct. Because, from my point of view, my perception is that there is some fundamental problem maybe we are facing, because the colonial hangover we have in every department. Because when the British created the police, they created it to oppress, to suppress the Indian population, the Indian citizenship. But after independence, of course, there can't be such scenario in an independent country. But still, maybe the system have some reminiscent of that, not totally, but of course, a policing service is to provide the service to the citizens of India to maintain the law and order, and police is doing that. But uh, still here and there we may perceive that there is some problem, there is some distance between police and civilian. As a dig of police and working in for 30 plus years, you have such experience, you must have some you must have a huge experience, and to give advice to all the police personnel
Yeah,
of our country.
when we are talking about colonial hangover with the institutions after independence, probably it is there. I will not deny this fact. जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं, इसी सोसाइटी से आते हैं. We are all from this society, and collector and SP, superintendent of police, माई बाप का concept था कि they are माई बाप, and that's how we grew up. Now the perception is changing. The officers of any services, whether they are from police services or administrative services, we are understanding, of course, and we have to understand that these are services. We are there to serve the people, not to rule them, not to boss around them. We have to listen to them. To solve their grievances is our prime duty, and which should be done as per their convenience, not as per our convenience.
And also to teach them to be a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, we have
Ideal citizen.
We have been teaching them to be law-abiding citizen. Even Britishers were teaching them to be a law-abiding citizen by lathi. So the thing is that we don't have to teach by using the lathi. We have to teach them how to become a law-abiding citizen, and why it is beneficial for all of us. Of course, by educating them, by making them aware, by telling them that this is where you are breaking the law, it is where you are obstructing us on our duty, this is where you are putting obstruction for the other person and which you should not do. So there is a human way of telling all these things, like we tell our kids in family, to our younger in family. That's how we should treat our citizens while dealing with them. Of course, previously, probably because of the colonial hangover, and which may be still there, all sort of person are there in society. We must change it. We must transform ourselves, and the police personnel, police officers should transform themselves to be a serving, agency of the government as fast as possible. Because the stake is very high with the police. We can restrict your fundamental right. We can make your life hell. So a police officer has to be a nice person. Because a lot of power is there. And people expect you to behave in a certain fashion.
And that's make it a very responsible.
When the stake is so high, then of course you have to be more disciplined, you have to be more empathetic to the people you are dealing with. I fully agree, if there is a colonial hangover somewhere, it should be thrown immediately.
So that should be your message to all the police.
Yeah, all of us, of course, all of us. As a senior officer in my organization, we are training in. But I tell you, CRPF is a very beautiful organization. It's the largest paramilitary force of the world. And there is not even a single human rights violation case against us. We are the most trusted because we are very transparent, we are fair, we are not influenced with any kind of ideology, and citizens across the India trust us. West Bengal, Gujarat,
And maybe
Kashmir.
CRPF is putting along more sacrifices.
Of
in order to
course,
human life, personal life.
yeah. We have made a lot of sacrifices. In fact, there are a glorious history, and we are proud of it. In 1959, Police Commemoration Day is celebrated because on 21st October 1959, during the Chinese intrusion and aggression, we were patrolling in that area, and we went. Our patrol team went ahead to find it out, and we lost 10 of our brave soldiers. Similarly, during 1965 war with Pakistan in Gujarat, which is known as Sardar and Tak post. A regular brigade of Pakistan army attacked us, and only two companies, that is hardly 200 personnel, fought against 3,500 regular army of Pakistan, and we put on hold their progress for 24 hours on 9th of April 1965. This is unique in the history of war. Two paramilitary force companies could stop and repulse the attack of a regular brigade of any country.
And not only in war situation, in domestic situation
Yeah,
like
domestic
Naxal
Naxal,
infested
we have
areas.
lost lot many people, and hundreds of brothers we have lost, officers we have lost, and after fighting for 40, 50 years against their ideology, which was violent, which was anti-government, and where they were, probably having more faith in gun, bullet than
No
ballot.
respect for human life.
They were having more expectation from the bullet than ballot. So after protracted, anti-Naxal operations, we are now successful, and now we can say proudly that Naxalism doesn't exist in India. Almost not.
Congratulations, sir. And
Thank you.
I will take this opportunity to salute them and my heartfelt condolences for those
we feel
martyrs.
proud, and on behalf of my brother officer, I extend gratitude.
We are proud of you, sir.
Thank you.
And the CRPF and all the paramilitary, police, military, all different personnel. So, sir, the co-writer of this book is Subhangi Singh ji. He is a master in psychology. So the psychological factor, I think there is huge part in this book about the psychology. The psychology, I mean, to understand that how the police personnel's working 24 hours, maybe more than that, constantly on a very tough situation, and they have to, you mentioned that you have to see the citizens as your family, but you have your own family too. You have to maintain that also, work-life balance, and also these common stereotypes, like why we criticize police, like they are unhealthy, big belly police stereotypes. How you handle, and what will be your message to the people of India?
As I told you that there is a gap between the perception and actions of the police. So I have written the book so that the people understand what police is doing. Police is doing a lot of work. They are working beyond the call of duty hours. During any kind of crisis, any situation, they are always there. You may say that police is not good, not efficient, not professional, corrupt, but still you always seek help of police whenever there is a crisis, whenever there is some kind of situation you are facing and you need assistance, whether it is legal assistance or emergency assistance, or during the disasters you want some kind of response. There's police personnel who reach you there first. And they are working to assist citizens all the time. Very honestly, very sincerely, very hardworking. In this course of these actions, they are neglecting their family, and this is one of the aspects. But the other aspect is that sometimes they are not good with the people. There are all kind of person in police also, and there are certain black sheep who doesn't behave in a proper manner, who are not sensitive towards the people or their problems. So whenever there is a complaint against them, our department is very strict and we deal with it. It's the problem is that people generally people do not come up to complain against the police. They make a perception and they are expressing their perception somewhere else. If they come to the police department, it will deal very severely. Nevertheless, most of the police personnel are very sensitive, very empathetic towards their duty, very hardworking, very sincere. People also know it. During these kind of performance of duty, now I am coming to the second part, that they are neglecting their family.
Yes.
They are not able to, very simple things they are not able to do with their family. Like they are not celebrating any most of them are not able to celebrate any festival with their family.
They have to do their duty in the festival time mostly.
They are not able to give time to their son and daughter. not to wife, not to other relatives. Even when they are not able to give time to their close family member, but to talk about the other relatives. During most of the social functions, they are not there. So, they are cut off from all these human transactions of emotions, and this takes a toll on his mindset also. You will rarely see a police personnel being creative. Have you seen any? Very few police personnel who is a good painter, who is a good speaker, who writes books, or who perform dances very well. Because for being creative, you need time. You need certain kind of stability.
But you still managed to write 11 books
Yeah,
with your
I
busy
could
schedule.
manage, but of course, probably I could have done much better.
Yes,
I
of
mean,
course.
yeah. So the when the geography changes, the place changes on transfers. Still, we get same setup, same kind of people, same kind of traumatic experiences of the people they are sharing us. It's the same sort of people who we face everywhere. So our experiences are not that rich, which in a society you could have to become a creative. So most of the time, what kind of life we are living is different from other person who can live it. People say that we have varied experiences. Of course, we have varied experiences, but these are all the experiences of trauma, bad conditions, disasters, violations of people's fundamental rights. We are dealing with the victims, their losses, all these things. So these are not positive interactions which we are facing. It's all in negative setup. We live all the time.
That's, I think, a great messaging to all the police personnel who are stressed in their work, and you may be the ideal example for them how to deal with that.
Yeah, we have
And
to.
also look forward to your creative side whenever you find time.
Yeah, of course. See, this we should be happy that we are serving it, and that great thing.
Have pride in that.
Yeah, if I have got opportunity to serve you, and if I am serving you, that make you happy, it makes me happy too. So my message to all of us is that always remember that you are serving people. You are making them happy. You are making their life comfortable. You are addressing their situation which makes them better. So you are the person who are cause of all these positive things and others person. So you drive pleasure from that also. Be happy about it. Secondly, you have to take care of yourself also, because if you are not taking care of yourself, then probably you will develop negativity or traumatic experiences running into your mind, and then you will not be very sensitive. So you have to take care of yourself also. You have to take care of your health. You have to do exercises. You have to interact with the people. You have to be in the family. It's very important. It's very important that you should give time to your family. You see, in army or border where the families are not there, they are meant for war. They have to kill enemies. Enemies are from the different country. In policing, you are dealing with own people. You have to be sensitive. When in society you see women, you see mothers, you see daughters, you are sensitive. You become sensitive. You see a kid, छोटे बच्चे को देखते हैं तो ये आपकी भावना दूसरे तरीके की होती है. आप समझ पाते हैं चीज़ों को. तो ये जरूरी है कि हम समाज का हिस्सा इस तरीके से रहें, पारिवारिक हिस्सा में रहें. हमेशा हमारा जो रोल होता है वो प्रोहिबिशन का होता है, रोको, टोको, पकड़ो. तो इससे हट कर के भी हमें देखना चाहिए, और हमें ये भी एज ए इंस्टीट्यूशन, as an institution of police, we must understand that we have to give time to our police personnel so that they can be spared, so that they spend time with their family in the society. It's very necessary.
Excellent message, sir. Thank you so much for that. So this book also work on self-help guide, as a self-help guide.
Yes, so the co-author Subhangi is a psychologist, and she is from a police family. So she has suffered a lot because maybe his father was not there during the PTM meeting, parents-teachers meeting, or whenever she wanted. Most of the time, as a kid, her father comes after she slept. He is not there to teach you, to guide you. So she has seen all these kind of things in her life, and that's where she has written chapters and modified certain chapters, throwing light on the psychological aspect of a police personnel and their family. And she has suggested very good things like journaling, yoga exercises, and many other practices which one should do to be stress free.
Thank you so much, sir. And well, you get commendations, medals from the government for your excellence in, leading from the front in difficult situation, in challenged environment. So I would like to end this episode like if you share some real life stories with us.
Uh, I will. It's better to share real life stories, not why I got commendation and medals. But there are so many circumstances where you will be you will feel really touched when come to know about it and what the other person is thinking about it. I had been in Naxal area where there is a lot of apprehension of innocent villagers when the force personnel come, the police personnel come, or the forest personnel come. Even when Naxal come, there is apprehension also, and they suffer. So going into such villages, and especially in the area of Abuzmar, talking to them, making them aware of the government's developmental program, getting them Aadhaar card, Ayushman card, getting them slippers for them because they always walk barefoot in the jungle also. Whenever they fell ill, treating them. I used to go with my doctor and then treating all those people. So
Every aspect of social service.
yeah, we are providing social service in the remote area, and all police personnel are providing.
The
In all
remotest
accessible
of
areas.
in the
Yeah, there are so many inaccessible areas now. Whole of the country is very accessible, and last week there was a bus accident in Udhampur, and it fell into a deep gorge. And I remember when I was assistant commander, probably in '97, same kind of accident took place, and we were there as a first responder. And the specialized response from the district headquarters or from other places came only in the evening. By the time all the rescue and relief operations we managed, the CRPF company managed, and there was one unit of army and his captain and I myself was managing all these things. So no, all kind of help we are providing to them, even without having the specialized equipment. We jump into to help the people. It happens most of the time. So I am talking about last decade when these social services were not. That's why Naxal grew, because there was no element of the states helping them out, and this thing was taken advantage of by the Naxals. They were providing them help, so they thought that they are the good people, and the state is not reaching to them, and we are the bad people. So this perception has to change. This Naxalism is a big war of perception also. It was a big war of perception also.
So my gratitude, of course, once again and not only once, again and again to the CRPF personnel for the work, the responsibility they are taking.
कॉलोनियल हैंगओवर के साथ जो हमारे यहाँ परसेप्शन है पुलिस के बारे में, पुलिस थाने के बारे में, उसको ही बदलने की बहुत आवश्यकता है. दोनों तरफ से काम करने की आवश्यकता है. अगर मैं शिवानी से पूछो किसी पुलिस स्टेशन में जाओगी, आर यू कॉन्फिडेंट?
अकेले
अकेले?
सर अकेले तो नहीं, बट मैं अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ ही जाऊंगी.
अकेले में क्या डर है?
अकेले
शायद इतना पॉज जो ये ले रही हैं बोलने में, तो ये बताता है कि भरोसा नहीं है. शायद थाना में जाना अच्छी बात नहीं समझी जाती. क्यों नहीं समझी जाती? थाना तो आपके हेल्प करने के लिए है. थाना में जो लोग रहते हैं वो ट्रीट नहीं करते हैं अच्छे से. एक मानव के रूप में जो आपका अधिकार है, जो आपको सम्मान है, वो नहीं मिलता है. और मैं सहमत हूँ. शिवानी से, हो सकता है कि मैं पुलिस सर्विसेज में इतने सालों के सर्विस के बाद भी अगर मेरी बेटी भी अकेला जाना चाहे तो मैं कहूँगा रुको मैं चलता हूँ या किसी को भेज देता हूँ साथ में। जब तक एक यंग लड़कियों में, बच्चों में, बूढ़ों में, लाचार आदमियों में ये कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है कि आई कैन वॉक इन टू अ पुलिस स्टेशन एंड देयर पीपल आर सिटिंग देयर टू लिसन टू मी, टू लिसन टू माई ग्रीवेंसेस एंड हेल्प मी, तब तक ये हम अपने आप को नहीं मानते हैं कि हम सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर पा रहे हैं। और ये बहुत आवश्यक है कि थाने पे जो जिला पुलिस है, ये आपको मालूम होगा जो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर है, स्टेट सब्जेक्ट है, और हर राज्य की पुलिस ऐसा उनकी अपनी पुलिस होती है और उनको इस दिशा में जरूर काम करना चाहिए जहां हमारे देश के हर नागरिक को, छोटे बच्चे को भी और बूढ़े को भी, लड़कियों को भी ये कॉन्फिडेंस आए कि वो थाने में जाए, या हम में से किसी को कॉन्फिडेंस आए। थोड़ी सी जो आपने कहा कॉलोनियल हैंगओवर के कारण डंडा चलाने वाली फोर्स रही, थोड़ा भाषा पर भी काबू नहीं रहता है। जैसे आप पुलिस स्टेशन में जाएंगे, शायद कोई पूछेगा कहाँ से क्या कैसे आ रहे हैं, आपको लगेगा कि मैं इतना बड़ा साइंटिस्ट हूँ, इतना बड़ा पत्रकार हूँ या प्रोफेसर हूँ, और वो कैसे मुझसे बातें कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा अपमानजनक लगता है।
इरेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ दैट, आप अगर इंडियन सिटीजन,
हाँ सिटीजन भी है, उम्र भी है आपकी है, तो आपको खराब लगता है कि ढंग से बोलना नहीं आता पुलिस वालों को,
थोड़ा हेवी
हैंडेड होते हैं लोगों का, ये परसेप्शन है। सुधार हो रहा है, सुधर रहे हैं हम लोग, है ना, और ये जरूरी है कि अवेयरनेस से हम लोग इन चीज़ों को बदलें। और हम सबको मानना चाहिए कि आज हम हमारे पास विक्टिम आ रहे हैं तो कभी हम भी विक्टिम होंगे और हमें किसी के पास जाना होगा। जो हेल्प, जब आप में ये समझ आ जाए कि किसी कोई सहायता प्राप्त करने जाता है तो किस तरह के उसके मन की संवेदना रहती है, तो शायद उस समझ से आप ज़्यादा एम्पैथाइज कर सकते हैं जो आपके पास सहायता करने आता है। लेट अस सी, वी विल ऑल चेंज फॉर द बेटर।
Thank you so much for this excellent and informative episode.
Thank you very much for giving a police officer, police personnel who is in the humble service of the nation a platform where we can talk, we can tell about ourselves. In fact, that one of the reason why I am writing is that there is nobody to tell our side of the story, and there is nobody to listen our side of the story. So probably it's a great service you have done to the police personnel by listening to our story.
Our pleasure,
and
completely.
And knowing what we are trying to do. Of course, we may be committing some mistakes, but we are always trying to improve, and naturally, we are there for everything.
And I must thank you for, writing your experience in such books.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.